Okay, then we are live now on the YouTube also. Hi Kehon, can you tell me if I'm audible? We are streaming fine on the YouTube. There's a bit of a time lag. I think for the dashboard it's good. Vedika, Amir, Prachi. Yes, Kehon, what was your question? Prelims preparation is not completed. Should I still join the course? You are poor in essays. एक तो बेटा ये course है ही नहीं अभी. Okay, it's just a bit of awareness building. Okay, course is not आजकल नहीं होने वाला. तो आपको हर बार लगता है कि any workshop we do आपको course ही बेच देंगे. ऐसा नहीं है. Okay, all fine, Keon? So listen through. Hi Anjali, I hope it's the same Anjali or some other Anjali. I do not know. The Anjali that we know. Hi Ganesh. Peppermint. Hi Peppermint. Okay. You make me sound like Hazmola now. I hope. मैं पचूं. Anyways. Abhishek Patil. Okay. Okay, fine. All of you, good afternoon. Some of you, most of you know me. Shabbir, with me I have Dev Tripathi. Me and Dev Tripathi have been together guiding you some ways or the other. We are on the Telegram channel. Last approximately 2 odd months, Dev has been driving the essays channel with assignments, discussions. So today's session is not a course at all. You can decide to join a course, baad mein alag baat hai. And why we did this now is because after 2 months of interacting with you on the platform, Dev said, कि Shabbir, there is something fundamental missing because of which the students are struggling. आप सबको लगता है कि writing is the key. Okay, writing is a very important end product. Writing is part of the process, but you need something more in essays writing. It's like they say कि I know how to cook, or I know I must cook, but I must have the ingredients first. I must have the masala first. I must have the water, the vegetables first. So there are 3-4 aspects of essays writing. So that's why they've suggested कि Shabbir, before they even get into actual essays writing, can we tell them something now onwards? Because देखो, most of us leave essays writing till as late as before mains, or we leave essay writing to a 10-15 days course. 10-15 days course mein we can teach something definitely, but the grooming of your thinking process, developing a type of philosophical mindset to understand essay topics, to understand what is good structuring, to understand what is a good organizing of essays. This requires a continuous learning. In fact, yesterday I was making a planner for students. Okay, in the planner I had put 3 blocks. 3 blocks: essays, current affairs, and CSAT. ऐसे ये 3 चीज ऐसे चीजें हैं, you cannot have an end date and a start date. It's something you must do every day. Okay, it's like, I can go to a hospital for maybe 2 days, 3 days of treatment, but good health का end or beginning थोड़ी होता है. Everyday exercise, everyday breathing, everyday walking, everyday good eating. So you need something, okay, with you. Those giving your prelims this year, आपको तो बहुत important है, because after prelims, most of you will have very less time to actually learn essays writing. And those giving examination next year, you also have a good opportunity here to learn the process of essays across the entire year. So don't defer your essays learning only to 4, 5, 6 days or 10 days of your course. Okay? Having said that, there are 2 discussions that I want to initiate the process with. One is, whenever you have any examination, I consider examinations as games, as sports maybe. हर sport का, हर game का कोई objective होता है. Like the objective in cricket is, I must hit the ball as far as I can as a batsman. The objective of the bowler is, I must ball as good as I can to hit the wickets or to get somebody out. Okay, so there are rules there. In football, there is a game going on. The rule is, try netting the ball inside the goal. Without knowing this rule, you can't play the game. अगर मुझे पता ही नहीं है, the purpose of hockey is to strike the ball using a hockey stick and not hit the ball outside the ground like cricket. I can't play hockey. So essays ka bhi, there are some rules, there are some objectives that you should be aware of. If you look at the syllabus, in most subjects, the syllabus tells us what you should do in terms of rules. क्या पढ़ना है, क्या नहीं पढ़ना है. In some cases, syllabus is elaborate. In some cases, syllabus is only indicative. Essays के case में, there is no syllabus. The UPSC का जो website है या फिर syllabus section है, it uses only these 4-5 words. One, it says, write essays to the topic, write essays in brief, okay, write essays concisely and to a structured approach, and write essays in the given time. That's all. These are vague ideas, no? What does it mean to write to a topic? What does it mean to write a brief essays and concise essays? What does it mean, okay, to stick to the demands of the topic? The essays का एक ऐसा paper है, there is no syllabus. Whatever we know of the essays is partly from experience or okay, having read some essays across. तो ये पहला है कि आपको essays का syllabus आपके पास नहीं है. Then my next question is that how do I know what I must write down? Essays हम लिखते आए हैं, right? Essays we have in schools, essays we have in colleges. Essays UPSC में different कैसा है? And in fact I ask, why did UPSC have essays paper in the first place? They have tested your CSAT, they have tested your current affairs, they have tested your MCQ say subjects, they have made you write optional paper 1, optional paper 2, GS के 4 paper, okay, across subjects, polity, science and tech, economy, history, सब दिखा दिया. फिर एक essay क्यों add कर दिया? Why did we need an essay? Okay, sir, to check aptitude. मैं aptitude भी CSAT से हो चुका है. Essay से क्या achieve करना चाह रहे हैं वो लोग? And why did the nature of topics change? That's a very important question. This is my understanding. You can always think on this. देखो, what does CSAT do? Largely, CSAT tests your reasoning skills. Reasoning skills through language, reasoning skills through numerical questions, reasoning skills okay, through certain mathematical or puzzles and so on. So आपका reasoning सोच लेता है. अच्छा, what does the optional paper do? The optional paper tests your depth in some subjects. Okay, that way all of us have done some graduation, so you all have some opportunity to show that you know your subject well. What does GS paper do? The GS paper tests current affairs, understanding, whether you know some concepts or not, okay, and your writing skills. But none of this paper actually tests your personality, who you are as a person. जैसे ना मुझे कोई पकड़ा देता है, somebody gives me mathematics or a multiplication table. I can memorize the table, okay, and I can reproduce. But how to test whether I actually have mathematical mindset or not? How to test whether I have that mathematical affinity or that mathematical rational mind or not? I cannot test simply by asking you, tell me the multiplication table of a number. So essays paper में we are checking who you are as a person. आपका thinking क्या है, आपका सोच क्या है, what is your vision, how do you approach life, how do you approach problems in life. So earlier what happened was they used to give you topical essays. Topical essays का मतलब होता है a essay around a topic which is current affairs type or issue based topic. They are topical essays. Write an essay on women empowerment, write an essay on climate change, write an essay on maybe poverty and economic growth. This is a topical essay where the topic is defined by some issue. What happens is, in a topical essay, because you're good in GS, आप सारा उगल के आ जाते हो. Like all of us have studied women empowerment, all studied environmental conservation, all understand poverty, equality, development. Paper 1 में, paper 2 में, paper 3 में आप लिख आओगे. And those answers are more testing your academic proficiency, ना कि your thinking approach. So what they did was, they said कि नहीं, ये गलत हो रहा है. Essays का purpose होना चाहिए to test your thinking. So now they give you abstract topics जिसका meaning आपको निकालना होगा और समझा के लिखना होगा. It's a very general statement, okay, that make hay when the sun shines. Okay, अब इसके बारे में 1000 word में लिखो. So when you're writing on topics which are not defined in terms of issue, not defined in terms of current affairs, how do you think? How do you structure your thought process? How do you organize your thinking approach? How do you set your boundaries कि क्या लिखें क्या नहीं लिखें? And lot of topics are, okay, philosophical topics. Your attitude towards life, challenges, your attitude towards courage, your attitude towards, failures. What do you think about forgiveness? What do you think about happiness? These abstract areas. In abstract areas, it is impossible to predict the topic. Okay, so they are giving you a kind of an open field. Okay, जाओ दौड़ के दिखाओ. If I lay down the track for you, I know you can run very fast. If I define the boundaries, I know you can work out. But what if I give you a field where there are no boundaries? अब लिख के दिखाओ क्या सोचते हो, कैसे सोचते हो. And generally when the field is so vague and you do not know what to write, you will end up writing what you are as a person. Okay, my favorite example is, okay, tell me about yourself. If I ask, tell me your name, बता दोगे. Okay, tell me your hobby, बता दोगे. Tell me your background, बता दोगे. If I give a very open idea, कि अपने बारे में जो बताना बताओ. Now I'm thinking कि पहले क्या बताऊं, क्या नहीं बताऊं. Okay, what this man wants to listen from me. Should I discuss my failures more? Should I discuss my successes more? Should I discuss my interests more, or shall I discuss my academics more? So when I give an open question to you and you are thinking, that's when I catch you who you are as a person. और जब boundaries नहीं होती है ना, we'll end up writing, okay, mostly what we are. And I say this always, most of us, I believe, are not trained to lie. ठीक है, हम झूठ बोल लेते हैं बीच बीच में, okay, but हम trained नहीं हैं कि 10 पेज तक झूठ बोलते रहे. Okay, so in a short answer, 1 page, in a short answer, 2 pages, okay, हम लिख देंगे, world is wonderful, let's not pollute, let us take care of rivers, let us preserve forests, let us love each other, let's take care of women rights, all nice political words लिख लेंगे. But if I say keep on writing, next page लिखो, don't kill the animals, but ठीक है, बीच बीच में मार सकते हैं. That's okay if I cut down some trees. और बोलो, हटाओ या ट्री को, रास्ता बनाओ सीधा. So when I nudge you towards keep on writing, you cannot write something on which you don't have conviction. So initially आप सच बोलोगे, ultimately वही बोलोगे, या फिर पेज भर दोगे, okay, which is mechanical, thoughtless statements and answers. So purpose of essay is exactly this, to make you write in an uncharted, undefined, okay, scope given through a topic. And I find lot of correlationship between essay marks and your interview marks. Both unstructured होता है. Okay, I've seen people who get good marks in essays, they invariably do good in interviews also. Okay, of course, there are outliers there. So the essays is a part of personality. Essays is part of, showcasing who you are as a person and what your priorities are in terms of life, living, development, and as a person who will become eventually a bureaucrat and policymaker. So see essays writing from that perspective, not simply कि page भरना है. And lot of people make very common errors. Common errors around pumping the essay with mindless ideas, unrelated content, and some examples which do not really tell us anything about your thinking skills there. So this is just initiating you into what we're trying to do here. So I have with me, I said, Deb. Deb has been a writer himself. He has published 2-3 books, and you must read. Deb, not that I'm, okay, yeah, you understand, right? In our friend circle, okay, Deb was one who had lot of art skills. And his writing typically, if I look back, okay, that personal touch hota hai. Okay, so he is the right person to tell you how things are written. I, as a teacher, I am good at paragraph answers, page notes, but the flair of writing seekhna hai, I think is just the right person for you. Okay? So talk to him, and a very, very well-read person who can suggest also what books you must read. One big problem in essays writing is you cannot write essays agar aapke paas content nahi hai in terms of having read proper books. बाकी courses में क्या है ना, books prescribed है, NCERT पढ़ लो, Lakshmikant पढ़ लो, read the book of Majid Hussain, read the book probably from Observer Research Foundation, ORF. But in essays में, it's an open domain. Okay, so we'll recommend some books to you also. Okay? So I'm leaving it to him. I'll come back and again discuss with you. So Deb, it's all yours now. And like I said, keep your pen, paper handy. Okay, do some jottings. Whatever comes to your mind, feel free to ask. Of course, I'm around. If you have some clarifications, you can get around.
All right,
yes.
Can you hear me? Online? Can you hear me okay? All right, Pooja, Kamal, Bhumi, Amir, Abhishek, Anjali, Khushi, give me a thumbs up. All right, okay. So very warm welcome to all of you. Online students, if you're not in the Telegram channel, it's right here. So definitely join. I think it's in the description of the YouTube link. So definitely join, because we are doing a lot of fun things there. And I'll tell you what I cover in Telegram and what we'll do here in the workshop. I want to do a little more than what the Telegram channel obviously has some limitations, and we can do certain things. But first and foremost, the people all of you have been interacting with, most of you here in the room are at least on the channel, who all have been active, as in commenting, writing, raise your hands. I know the names, but I don't know your faces. Okay, so I told you about the analogy of chart, right? Did you guys see that video? Okay, so what you guys are doing is you are coming into the kitchen and sir chart bana rahe hain, aap log dekh rahe ho, right? So you are looking at the chart making process, but unless you start doing it, it's going to be very difficult, right? So definitely actively participate. I promise you, if you have 20 responses, I will correct 20 responses. It's fun, I enjoy it, and I feel good when your next essay you write or next arguments you write is better than the previous one. And I have seen that in some of the people that are responding. So definitely actively participate. Passive mat raho, right? Be active. So once again, very warm welcome. I think Shabbir talked a lot about essays, especially what I picked up. He said essays has no syllabus. Right? So what does that mean? We have to learn from everything, and everything has an essay topic hidden into it. So I will explain a few today, but more importantly, what he talked to you about is the process. ये chart कैसे बनता है, right? What is the process? If you know the process, I think it will be much easier for you to appreciate, right? So he told me I've written 3 books. Definitely read this one because this one I wrote for you. This one, if you can read it if you have time, okay? If you read fiction, this is a fiction. Definitely don't read this, save it for 30 years later because it is realizations of my own personal experiences which I put in 50 pages or so. It's a little philosophical, but maybe it will be helpful in your essays. So I take that back. And if you are into fun creative writing, short stories, you can go to my Substack. I put all my poems and various things there. So enough about me. Yeah. Yeah, they're all on Amazon. Yeah. So this one is in Amazon.com and Amazon.in. This one is in Amazon.in, but definitely for this, just contact our office. You get a much better discounted price for the UPSC one. We will do something on essays, but first I want to try out with a structured course because a lot of things I've noticed are missing, and we'll talk about what is missing because I'm a little bit of an outsider, okay? Till last 4 years I was not in the UPSC space, but when I came in and I saw different courses, what alarmed me is the focus on PYQs, okay? Everyone is crazy about PYQs, right? You've seen all PYQs of essays last 25 years? Last 10 years? Okay, good. So because more and more they're philosophical essays, right? So I think it's going to lose some relevance. But kya hota hai? When you get a essay answer, right, and you read it, it is synthesized material. It's already, somebody has synthesized it. That's why I said in the video, chart kisi aur ne banaya, right? But when you need to understand the synthesis process, how that was made, that is more important. And that's what we'll discuss today, right? That's the first thing. And that is when I started seeing videos, I saw many things missing in today's essay lessons. The techniques, the deep techniques are missing. And there is an unusual amount of focus on, are example de do ya enrich kar do essays ko, but if you don't have the core arguments, wo aloo tikki agar nahi hai, so the garnish will not work, right? So they say that there is stuff and there is fluff around it, okay? So if you just have the fluff and the analogies, it will not look good. I've seen so many essays, they are like that. They are just nice words and good examples, but they don't make the point. So we'll talk about that. But anyway, these are available. You can definitely take a look. So I'll start with the common myths first, and then we'll go to the process. So writing more pages, more marks. You guys know this. A lot of people do this. First para and last para are somehow related to the topic. In between there is garbage, right? Don't do that. Essay should be completely neutral. A lot of you have noticed you kind of sit on the fence. We cannot afford to sit on the fence, okay? We have to be very assertive in what our argument is. That's why the development of the argument is very important. Agar maine topic diya ki, let's take one of the PYQs. Culture is what we have or what we are. Civilization is what we have. Have you seen this topic? Came some years back. So you discuss culture, what is culture, you discuss what is civilization, but you did not link them. The essay topic was about the link between the two, the relationship between the two, right? So very important to assert yourself and take, and if there are contrarian viewpoints, you make it. But don't be a fence hitters. Ye bhi ho sakta hai, wo bhi ho sakta hai. There is a way to develop the arguments, we'll talk about it. Starting with the definition. Actually, definitions are important, but they're important for your understanding, to develop the arguments. So I say that when you approach writing, essay writing, approach it like a lawyer. If a lawyer has to prove this, what would be the 3-4 contentions he'll make? Okay, so the sharpness of your dimensions has to evolve. That's why when I do Telegram, message you in Telegram, I say limit your arguments to sentences that make sense. So write a sentence that makes sense and makes your point. Okay? Quoting famous thinkers, something that we regularly do and fall into the trap. So I saw a video yesterday. I was actually preparing for this, and I saw, and this person, he was talking about ये 4 quote हैं, ये 4 quote तुम ये essay में use कर सकते हो. You get so much inputs like that. Do not fall into the trap of that. I think once you understand the concept, and I'll tell you a systematic way of using this. One perfect structure, pestle, right? Use pestle. Whatever be the topic, use pestle. That doesn't work. There is no one size fits all. It's like Shabbir said, it's an open, very fluid area to deal with. So you're constantly kind of navigating and figuring out where do I go next and what do I do. Okay? Flowery language, more facts. You guys know this. He also said something very important, that your GS and optional subjects will not help you. I think one subject that will help you is ethics. Definitely ethics will help you. So ethics, and we'll talk about what facets of ethics. See, ethics में तुम कुछ चीजें करते हो, but to apply to essays, you need to know how. Okay, I'll talk about that too. So before I go even here, how do I get to notes? Notes. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I'll draw this chart. So we'll start with the essay topic. Okay, we'll do this whole thing using essay topics. I gave you an essay topic called, I think, about meritocracy. Anyone remember what it was? Meritocracy is, there is no such thing as meritocracy. That was the essay topic. Okay, so we all know, we have all seen gifted and talented people, right? Oh, the language comes very naturally to this person, or ये तो philosophy का guru है. We have those people in our friend circle, and they're immediately able to do stuff, right? So what they have is talent. Okay, so the talented people, if this is success and this is time, okay, talented people work like this. This is the way talented people succeed. And people without talent, which is 1%, okay, talented, gifted and talented people, it is neurological, psychological research says it is less than 0.1% of the world, 1 in 10,000. Okay, so the rest of people like us, you and me, what do we have to do? Hard work, perseverance, resilience, good values, right? Here's how hardworking people succeed. Okay, there is another essay topic here. Hard work succeeds more than talent without hard work. Okay, another essay topic. So every facet of life, when you open a newspaper, you read a book, there is an essay topic hidden in there somewhere. So you have to have that bent of mind. That's why it brings out your personality. And how do you bring out personality? It's a big topic. We'll talk about that. But here's how hardworking people succeed. So this is 1% or 0.1%. This is 99.9% of the people. Okay? Now, with process and structure, hard work is not sufficient. That's why you come to coaching. That's why I talk to Shabbir sir, right? Half the people I spoke to in Edukemy, they said, I didn't know where to start. I came here, I got a structure, I got a process, I knew what to study. Okay? So hard work with process looks like this. And then obviously if you're talented and you're doing this, then obviously you are in a different curve altogether. Okay? So this is the impact of process and structure and discipline. Okay? That is what I felt most of you need, because some people are gifted and talented, they understand they have read or they have naturally gifted in language and reasoning and articulation. ठीक है. But most of us are here. I'll tell you something from my own experience. It took me 8 years to write my first book because I didn't know what to do, right? I thought I was naturally good at writing. So I started writing. First chapter, okay, I didn't like it. Threw it out. Second chapter took even longer. So up till a point where I was getting frustrated that I'm never going to finish this book. I'm never going to be the writer that I needed. So I read up writing process. So from here, I had a journey like this. My second book took me 6 months. Okay? After 8 years, it was 6 months. That is why this is an exponential graph. And the next time you do it, it's even faster. Okay? And not just faster, it is also better. So how does that happen? It is process and something else. So that's what we'll see. The next slide. Thank you. Okay, so I call this 4 A's. Okay, it's very difficult to do this all inside the Telegram channel. What I do, I'll tell you, and what I don't do, I'll tell you. Okay, so you guys can do it, and by all means take a crash course or a 1-month course. You don't have to study essays like on a 3-month, 4-month horizon. But the practice, like Shabbir said, you have to do regularly. Okay? So like going to a gym, you go to an instructor, he gives you a diet plan and a gym routine, you have to follow it up. Okay? So the first piece, it starts with awareness, analysis, arguments, and articulation. This is the 100 minus zone. Okay? Most people, most of the students, 80% of the students do not get the topic. Okay? So there are techniques to understand the topic, techniques to understand the treatment of the topic. There are two different things. One is the meaning of the topic, the other is the treatment of the topic. Meaning is, okay, culture is what we are, civilization is what we have, I understand. Culture is something intrinsic, civilization is something extrinsic. I kind of got the picture. Something is inside, something is outside. Okay, I can get my head around it. But iska treatment kya hai? In the sense that there are 3 kinds of broad treatments in UPSC essays. The first one is called expository. And there's a topic you need to write, describe it or detail it out. The second is what I call argumentative, that there are 2 sides to it and you have to go back and forth and explain, okay, pros of this, cons of this, pros of this, cons of this. Okay? The third one is what I call persuasive. So it's going a little further. It is establishing a position that now you have to persuade the reader that this is absolutely true. So this culture, civilization is sort of midway. You can argue one way, other way. There are many ways they're related and you're kind of giving the justification. But a topic, I gave you another topic called free will is an illusion. Anybody attempted that? Free will is an illusion. That is a topic that you need to be persuasive. It is clearly establishing what you need to write. So somebody said, no, we should never go against the topic. There's no such thing. You need to understand the topic. Maybe the topic is begging you to go against it or have a contrarian viewpoint. Right? Some topics are like that. And I give you some examples. And this is what I do. I try to give you different kinds of examples so it will bring out the core arguments and how you approach it. ठीक है? So एक तो है topic को समझना. What is the topic all about? The second is treatment of the topic. How does the topic needs to be treated? अच्छा ये समझ गए मान लो. Okay? So I know, let me demonstrate with an example. Let's take the same example. Culture. I got it. समझ गया अभी. Culture is what we are and Civilization is what we have. Okay. So let's build awareness. Okay. So this is about what? Two things, very simple: culture and civilization. But it's also saying something else about the culture. What is it saying about culture? I just said. This one I'll tell you. Okay, it is guided. I'll guide you here. We'll do free will is an illusion, and you guys will tell me. Okay, ठीक है? Okay, culture. So this is intrinsic. This is extrinsic. This is another word, identity. यहां से आता है. Culture से identity आता है. Civilization से it's organized society. Those kinds of things. Okay. Laws, rules, society, structures, all these come here. Okay. And I'll give you some examples. Obviously, we have a workshop, so we'll continue. ये क्या हो गया? किसी भी ले लो, कोई भी ले लो. वो कहाँ है? चला गया वो. अरे. Okay, no problem. We'll draw it again. Is this work? Okay, I'll draw it again. This is easy. Culture is what we have, or what we are, sorry, and civilization is what we have. Okay, so I said intrinsic versus extrinsic, said identity, society, और क्या इसमें आएगा? Any ideas? What is culture? Art, history, all that. Values, yes. Way of life, yes. In the same vein, what is civilization all about? Organized society. एक historical element इसमें आता है. Sorry? Man environment relation किस में आएगा ये? Civilization में आएगा. Culture में भी आएगा. Culture में man environment कैसे आएगा? We're going to the next layer, but let's keep going. Yeah. Religious practice is part of culture. Yes. Okay. Yes. So I'll give you an example. कोई example दे सकता है? अच्छा, examples पे आते हैं. Yes. Yes. Sacred groups. Oh, groups. Okay. So Vedic scriptures is a part of our Indian civilization. Okay. But hospitality is a virtue or a value. Vasudeva Kutumbakam bolte hai na. That is part of our culture, right? So culture, that's why it's intrinsic. I have the Vedas, but I have these characteristics because of the Vedas. Okay? There's another difference. Culture can it exist outside civilization? Yes. Tribal cultures, right? Can exist outside. So civilization is a bigger deal, right? It's a bigger thing. Culture is a smaller part. In a civilization, there can be many cultures. Bengali culture, Odia culture, Marathi culture, Assamese culture, tribal culture, Indian civilization. Okay? So now, what do you have? You first understood the meaning of this. You kind of got the awareness of this topic. And what do you have? You have some words. Intrinsic, identity, religion के बारे में लिख लेता हूँ. It exists outside. I have these parts of the culture, organized society, history. It's big. I've got some words. Okay. Lot of you make this repeated mistake of starting to write at this point. Your learning is not complete at this point. क्या होता है? Now you jump into मुझे आ गया, अभी लिखना है, अभी कोई रोक नहीं सकता मुझे. I have to write, and that's okay. That's a good thing. You know, you need to go out there and feel the ball. But sometimes you have to play a little more in the nets before you go. Because तुमने net practice में एक bowler को खेला होगा, वहाँ गए and then suddenly a big burly fast bowler comes, 6-footer, bowls bouncers and you're like, oh, I never faced this ball. ये कैसे खेलूँ मैं? यही होता है जब मॉडल एसेस पढ़ते हैं. एक ऐसे पढ़ के पैटर्न पता नहीं चलता, और 5 ऐसे पढ़ोगे 5 पैटर्न मिल जाएगा, किसी और का पैटर्न मिल जाएगा, खुद का नहीं बना सकते. दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. सो ओके, वी हैव गॉट वर्ड्स. देन व्हाट डू यू डू? Let's erase this and go to our 4A's. Yeah, this is where we are. Okay, so you have to do some analysis. एक काम करो, before you write on culture and civilization, let us imagine ये ऐसे टॉपिक है और मैं इसको लिखना चाहता हूं. 15 मिनट ले लो, 15 minutes. Look up what is culture. I guarantee you, in the first 4 links of Google, you will find a worthy article of culture that will tell you much more than you already know. It is guaranteed. Or if you use ChatGPT or any other tool, we also have developed something called Mentor, and we are consistently enhancing it. We have put some of our knowledge base inside it, so it will tell you much better. But definitely use any tool. If you just say, what is culture? What have the world's philosophers talked about culture? ये question अगर पूछोगे, you get an answer. Suddenly you will have 5 lines to write about culture. नहीं तो क्या होता है? Same line repeat होता है. Culture is part of identity. Identity comes from religion. Identity comes from this and that. And then you're basically repeating the same identity concept in 5 sentences. Okay? So reading is very important. I cannot undermine the importance of reading in essay writing. Okay? तो कोई भी words अगर मिला, that's why I said always in the essays channel that stop, do your research, don't rush. Okay? उसके ऊपर at least आधा घंटा research करो. It begs, at least इतना तो करना चाहिए. अगर अभी आधा घंटा एक टॉपिक पे डालोगे with before seeing, don't see the model answer. Okay? You do it yourself. And I guarantee you, ये अगर तुम आधा घंटा पढ़ोगे, you will write a better essay than the model answer. Because model answer कौन लिखता है? Institutes जो तुम्हें model answers देते हैं, students ही लिखते हैं. कोई essay writer बैठ के नहीं लिखता है इसको. So they don't have specialized skills. They might have some talent, yes. What we talked about that graph early, so you know. ठीक है. So इसके बारे में, so identity. What is identity? There are plenty of, like, you know, if you just ask the question, identity as described by Eastern philosophy, मिल जाएगा तुम्हें. Zen में क्या है, Buddhism में क्या है. Succinct one para, that's all. You don't have to read like Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Kant. I have a list, I'll show you, philosophers. But you don't have to read all of them. इसलिए मैंने वो Sartre का book दिया था. I gave you some other books like that, or short snippets. Okay? You make a revision from these short notes and keep it handy. So that's reading. So reading होना चाहिए, क्योंकि without reading, it will be very difficult to develop the idea. तो ये culture civilization का same example लेते हैं. इसमें तुमने बोला identity. How is identity relevant to this connection of culture and civilization? हम सब ने बहुत excited होके बोला, right? Culture is identity, which is nothing but definition of culture. But how is it relevant to culture and civilization? You are getting there. So, therefore, our collective identity shapes the course of civilization. अगर वो लिखोगे, boom, ज़्यादा मार्क मिला तुम्हें, 120 तक पहुंच गया. But if you just say culture, identity is a key facet of culture, yes, of course. Yes. So you speak to the topic and make your idea relevant to the core idea of the topic. Okay, so ये है connection, और this connection is very difficult to develop without sufficient reading. तो कोई भी ऐसे topic में थोड़ा research तुम्हें चाहिए. So once you develop those ideas, and this is what I ask, write 4 core arguments, right? मैं generally ये पूछता हूँ, write 4 core arguments. And believe me, a lot of people tell you 15 dimensions लिखो, 20 dimension लिखो. What they're referring to is the words I drew. Those are core concepts, they're not dimensions. Dimensions of argument should be 4 or 5. Actually, कोई भी writing में, if you write 4 or 5, more than 4 or 5 key points, you lose the audience. Any field of articulation, you see, they always say, big 3 ideas. What are your big 3 ideas? Big 3, big 3, big 3. Corporate culture में भरा हुआ है. So in a 1000-word essay, if 150 words goes in your introduction, and 150 words goes in your conclusion, 300, कितना रहा? 600-700? 600-700 divided by 5. 150 words, roughly. 100-150 words. 4 argument अगर बनाओगे, core arguments, और तुमने पढ़ा है, you have read, you can easily write 150 words. But वो connection is very important, from the idea to the argument. ये बहुत important है. इसके techniques होते हैं. Just कुछ बताया मैंने, ये paraphrasing और awareness का techniques, right? उसके भी techniques होते हैं, और argument development की भी techniques होते हैं. For example, I'll give you a technique. You have, it's called questions. एक मैंने essay topic दे दिया, I'll say, okay, write 5 questions you have on this topic, related to this topic. Your questions itself will reveal most of these answers. So ये हम लोग अपने courses में कराते हैं. It's a pretty detailed work. So every step has techniques and process. If you don't, some do it intuitively. किसी को आता है, right? But you know, I watched Sachin Tendulkar my whole life. I don't know how to hold the bat. वो भी होता है कि देखने से नहीं होता है, right? Some people just know instinctively, but some people have to learn, have to be told. Nay, you have to hold it like that, and this is how you put the weight of your body behind the shot. So we'll talk about these techniques in detail, but everything has techniques. And last of all is the चुरमुर, चाट, चटनी, प्याज, ऊपर का. तो जब मॉडल एसेस तुम देखते हो ना, तो हरा, पीला, नीला ऊपर से दिखता, नीला नहीं दिखता, बट यू नो, यू गेट इट. तो ऊपर से जो दिखता है वो अंदर कुछ और होता है. ऊपर का देख के हमें लगता है कि अच्छा ऐसा होना चाहिए, लेकिन जो फ्रेमवर्क है उसका, अंडरनीथ व्हाट इज द फाउंडेशन, द वॉल्स, that is not visible. You're just seeing the exterior and how it presents. So language, examples, case studies, these are all part of your articulation. How well you put the quote, how well you bring out your intro, ये सब articulation होता है. And believe me, you do not have to have mastery over language to succeed in essays. That's why I say this is 100 minus 140 plus. Some people, most students, this is what I was telling Shabbir, start from top down in this diagram. They start with examples, quote पढ़ लिया, 2-3 idea ले लिए, लिखना शुरू किया. but, and that's why they get less marks, but you need to start bottom up. Okay? And don't worry, if English is a little difficult, you don't have to worry about it. The more you do, if you do this well, that will automatically come, and there is no way you can do it in a crash course anyway. तुम्हें इसलिए daily पढ़ना पड़ेगा. This is muscle building, right? This is not going to happen overnight. तो पढ़ना पड़ेगा. That's fine. But what you do in an essay course is you learn the techniques, you learn how to approach the exam, and then you go and you do your own thing. That is why we said ये course से काम नहीं होगा. We'll do courses when we have to, but there has to be a channel where we have to have regular discussions and conversation about how do you solve a particular problem. ठीक है? That's why I give you reading material. Quality reading material is very, very important. Okay? So this is what the 140 plus mark is. I discussed a little bit of the common mistakes. Let us try this example. Okay? I'll let you be the driver. ठीक है? तो इसका पहले awareness करते हैं. Online, guys, you're following along? Okay, so we'll try a small exercise, and then after that I'll introduce the canvas and the techniques to you, and that's all I wanted to do in this workshop. Give you an appreciation of कैसे लिखना है, कैसे approach करना है लिखने को, क्या क्या पढ़ना पड़ेगा. I have mapped last 30 years of PYQs into themes and philosophers, तो वो देख लेंगे, and then we'll continue our work on Telegram. ठीक है? So let us try this topic. Free will is an illusion. Okay, now tell me what this topic means to you. मैं लिखता जाऊंगा. I will write down, but you guys have to now come to the kitchen and कड़ची पकड़ना पड़ेगा, चूल्हा जलाना पड़ेगा, right? Free will is an illusion. क्या बोलते हैं? What is this actually? What is this topic? Let's have a conversation. एक तो clear है, एक चीज तो word तो है ही इसमें, right? One word is there. Free will. Free will लिखते हैं. अच्छा, any of you have done a Google search on free will? Free will क्या है? It's a raging debate in the world. Sorry? मन मर्जी कुछ भी करो. Exactly. So this concept that man is free to define whatever course he takes. Okay? This is what the topic is saying is it is an illusion. So एक तरफ अगर free will है, दूसरी तरफ क्या है? Illusion.
On the other hand, there are constraints.
Constraints. Okay, good word. मन मर्जी करो का उल्टा क्या है? Give me opposite. Prison. Constraints. इसको philosophical world में क्या बोलते हैं? Philosophical world में. What is a philosophical world for all these? Jail, prison, constraint, limitation. Rule-based society, yeah. Religion, okay. Let's go for even further.
But then there are some shackles that bind you.
Shackles. अभी words में बोल रहे हो. Philosophical concept क्या है? ये पूछ रहा हूँ. ये अगर word आ गया ना, ऐसे 100 से 120 होगा. I guarantee you. अच्छा बोला. Liberty. Let's write it down. Liberty. Okay, good. You are describing this side. What is on the other side? Laws, prison, jail. हमने ये सब normal words हैं, right? Everyday words. You have to find the core. आलू टिक्की. एक word सुना है? Determinism. Yes. Okay. Now we are getting deeper. We are peeling the onion. We are getting deeper. When you say determinism, you put that word into your essay. वो examiner चौंक जाएगा, this guy gets it or this girl gets it. एकदम से. Determinism क्या है? अभी Google search करो. Next step, right? But okay, hold on. We established that the topic is a persuasive one, right? Free will is an illusion. You have to persuade. This is not argumentative that ये है, नहीं है, होता है, कभी नहीं होता, ऐसा नहीं. It's like, it's a clear. So you have to say how free will is an illusion. So this is a balance between complete freedom on one side and complete determinism, that the world is already predetermined, and when you are talking about this, what influences this school of thought? Can you tell me? The environment dictates or man can decide? Man can decide. वो इस तरफ आता है. इस तरफ क्या आता है? Surround environment, okay, good, environments. Entire scientific knowledge is that, right? Determinism. Philosophical proofs are there. How do I know? I Googled it. I'm not smarter than you. I just Googled determinism and I saw that somebody had said that all physiological decision making, जब कोई बंदा करता है, they put electrodes and they figured out that actually before the decision making happens, the neurons are already flashing in that direction. So it's already predetermined. तुम किस तरफ से जाओगे? तुम्हारा genetic coding है, तो temperature क्या है? Everything is playing a role in deciding which way you are going, right? Science. So इसमें science में आ जाएगा, neuroscience, psychology, सब कुछ आ जाएगा. Now if you go deeper, tell me about determinism with respect to philosophical or scientific research, right? मिल जाएगा और examples? कोई दूसरे ऐसे से कॉपी नहीं करने पड़ेगा अभी, right? Okay. Now, so we have established some stuff. Tell me more. What else? Laws of land? Yes, exactly. Laws of land, and this is a key thing because what you are also implying is there are legal implications of this debate. Free will is an illusion. मतलब क्या है? Everything is determined by the environment. I go murdered somebody. Just environment made me do it. I was in a rage. I was in a mental imbalance, and this fellow threatened me, and I pulled out my dagger and I stabbed him. This is a raging legal debate. How much free will? Where is the line? Where we'll say that the man acted of free will, and where he can be given? So there is a legal implications to this. So the moment you use the word legal implications, your essay marks goes up. Okay? Sorry, say that again. Yeah. But law will prevail. It is not a question of what will prevail. It is a question of, is this a problem? So we are just establishing that because free will is an illusion, and then back to the topic. Free will is an illusion, हम लोग कह रहे हैं. So that makes the legal area gray. That's all you have to say. Because free will is an illusion, it poses a significant challenge in legal matters. And it manifests itself in A, B, C. Poof, move it to the next point. ये हो गया ना, 100 word हो गया तुम्हारा. Legal implication. Good. Let's, yeah, sir. Leaders choose us. Yes, that's a statement. But let's go back a little bit. I think you use the word, we can choose. I'll come to you. You can choose. So big word here, philosophical word is choice. Okay? Liberty means choice. अभी choice को expand करो. Before I go to your line, I want to expand this. Choice. Have you heard of this thing called paradox of choice? Have you heard? किस में पढ़ा है? Economics में? Generally. Okay, tell me what it is.
We think like we have there is very diversity related. Sometimes we want to choose, but we think it's not right. So here's the paradox.
Yes, yes. So paradox of choice is a big area of research. Paradox of choice is visible to you, manifests itself in retail stores. 50 तरह के socks देखोगे, क्या लूँ मैं? Are you free to choose? Are you really free to choose? Confusion. And retail sales experts manipulate the mind, or an advertisement manipulates your mind to choose one way or the other. So are you really free? Okay, so choice एक बड़ा point है यहाँ पे. So yes, you can say that we can choose our leaders, but if effectively it is the reverse, that's what happens. So which goes about, you chose somebody, you thought that it is of my free will, but in the end it was an illusion, because there were circumstances that forced you to choose a certain way. Yes, you were saying so. Yeah.
In culture and tradition, right? So, but he is bounded by some certain laws
Yes.
that are governing. So that is what makes it an illusion, that is, though it is stated that we can do whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
But certain things are bounded that we have to act.
Excellent point. We'll build on. I'll pick on one word again, in his case. Laws are an illusion. It is true, but that is not the essay topic. Okay, that is another essay topic. Okay. So what you said is human beings can do anything. What is this? What's one word for this sentence he said? Possibility to hai. It's called human agency. Have you heard of this word? मैंने advertising agency नहीं, human agency कहते हैं इसे. The ability of a man or the thought process of a man that he can do anything, right? Or human beings' belief in their abilities, core abilities. तो free will कहता है कि ये है, लेकिन अगर हम लोग illusion समझ लेंगे, तो what happens to this? Should we say, अरे सब तो भगवान करता है, मैं क्या करूँ अभी? This reminds me, there are two, and this I actually discovered, मैंने एक share किया था, Ramakrishna Paramahansa's view on free will is an illusion. Okay? If you have read the first para, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is why I say reading is so important. Usme he has taken two items from the Bhagavad Gita, one from the 18th chapter, one from the 3rd chapter. In the first one, he says, Krishna tells Arjuna that everything is Maya. I'm doing everything. I'm actually present inside your body and I'm making you do it. Determinism, destiny, God is all pervasive. And in the second one, he says, do not succumb to your senses. Act as though you control them and you will be free. So he talks about these two concepts in the same document. Okay? And this whole PDF I shared with you is an exposition of that. Great example you can provide. Right? Ramakrishna Paramahansa in his teachings discuss these two aspects of Gita, and the concept of karma comes exactly in the core of this. One hand, karma says there is a part that destiny plays. The other hand, it also means that action is the core, right? Don't forget about the result. Just keep doing what you need to do. So that is the fourth thing here, moral responsibility. if we believe that free will is an illusion, we lose moral responsibility. अरे भगवान ने कराया, मैंने थोड़ी किया. So you lose like, okay, I'm not responsible anymore. It's the God Almighty who did everything, right? So now you have few things to develop your essays. ठीक है? तो इससे हमें क्या करना है? Free will is an illusion. We can use this concept to connect them. There are some contrarian viewpoints that are emerging here. Okay? What is the contrarian viewpoint here?
It is the exact opposite to what the statement is trying to say.
Yes. So what is it? Can you tell me?
It is in the sense that if we accept this statement that free will is an illusion, whatever, even if you want to do something, will be confined by this thought and will end up doing nothing eventually.
My son, 7th grader, he goes to martial arts class. जब वो अच्छा कुछ बोलता है तो सारे बोलते हैं 1 2 3 you rock. Okay, I'll say great point. Okay, I think you have to say here that however, if you believe free will is an illusion, human beings tend to lose moral responsibility, lose faith in their own agency, and lose the belief that they can truly make a choice. Oh yeah. Now the examiner sees the words. What does the examiner see? Determinism इसने लिखा है. Liberty, choice, agency, moral responsibility. 4 word लिखा है. गीता का example दिया है. You can take Bible or anything, that's irrespective, but you took a specific example from a text that is widely known. You took Ramakrishna Paramahansa. You took the concept of karma and associated. You also gave a contrarian viewpoint, and that contrarian viewpoint is an excellent closure for this topic. Also, yeah.
We are ending that free will is an illusion. For ending things, we can see at one point know that if we say that free will is an illusion, we are not following the doctrine of the chilling effects. Like chilling effects is the point that where we think
Yeah.
we can do these things. We can follow the agency of the human. We can go for the choices and all. But we think like this is not my free will, so we started thinking like we should not do.
Yeah.
Leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it. Just leave it.
Yeah.
So it's also constrain our determinism. Like we do not start following those things. So leave it. What to go for the sciences? What for?
Yes, exactly. So this tussle between these two concepts, that's why the topic never said determinism is truth, right? It said free will is an illusion. What is it saying? Free will lies somewhere in this spectrum. And because I can never determine where exactly is the sweet spot, I have issues here, I have issues here, I have issues here, I have issues here. That's why environment is degrading. Why? There is free will and we are pursuing our economic progress without thinking of something, and well, I guess it's my free will, I will build an oil rig here, right? So many examples you can find yourself. तब क्या होता है? When you find the examples yourself, the way you apply it also becomes better. Then you are not using somebody else's example, right? खुद अपना example. So I think the first step, I'll remind you, then we'll go to the canvas, it's 2:30, is awareness, then comes analysis, and then comes arguments, then comes articulation. So do not jump into articulation, don't start writing before you do this research, this kind of research. Understand the topic, the treatment of the topic, find the keyword. The other people call it keyword finding. It's fine. But it is important to connect these to the right keywords. What we discovered, if you do not use the word determinism, your essay lacks the punch. तो वो कहाँ से आएगा? देखते हैं. Okay, I have mapped last 20 years. I'll share this with you. Don't have to frantically start writing. Okay. I'll share this with you. I've mapped last 24 years, so I think there are some social justice elements in it, political and economic systems, but largely it evolves around these areas. And I gave you some examples. We went into knowledge and wisdom, history, philosophy of science, cognitive science. Cognitive dissonance is a topic that is a keyword that comes in so many topics. Human beings think one way, act another way. We say it's good not to kill humans, but we are fine when 100,000 of people get killed in Gaza, right? Cognitive dissonance. So why I'm using these words is words are very important, which words are used, okay? So when you look at each of these words, one way to do it is I've also mapped it to philosophers, okay? And in the course, we'll deep dive, we'll do sometime in April, May, whatever, right? We'll do a self-paced course so that you have the material and then every day you can work on it. You don't have to, we'll do it in a way it doesn't interfere with your mains and prelims. Maybe you will give an hour a day or something like that, but we'll cover all of this in detail. So I want to give you like Adam Smith, 1 page, okay? Locke, 1 page, Descartes, 1 page, Chomsky, 1 page, Karl Marx, 1 page. You don't have to be a philosopher, MA in philosophy, okay? Ethics agar पढ़ रहे हो तो actually most of it you cover, right? If you're done ethics in some way, you've covered a lot of this already, right? You don't have to redo it, but the words need to come out in your essay. Stoicism or determinism or existentialism or nihilism or absurdism or, you know.
I studied ethics already, but the thing is I was not able to formulate the
Yeah. So I think you will get it once you know this, and so you going from the other way, right? From concept you're trying to figure out what the theory. Here is kind of the answer. You have to study these 30 people, okay? So 30 flashcards is all you need. एक बंदे का 5 लाइन लिख के अपने पॉकेट में रखो, flashcards बनाओ, keep the 30 philosophers, देखते रहो. And you have to learn from everything. You have to make sure that you find out essay topics in everything you do, okay? There is an essay topic hidden everywhere. So anyway, this is for you to kind of think, like, I wanted to do this because people say, what is the syllabus? It's very confusing, right? No boundaries. So you need some sort of boundary, right? इसको scientific terms में heuristics बोलते हैं. Heuristics is what? Heuristics is when I search with a definite goal in mind. GPS जब लगाता हूँ तो यहाँ से नोएडा लिखने के बाद ही रास्ता पता चलता है. That is heuristics. अगर मुझे बाउंडिंग बॉक्स नहीं मिलेगा, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर मी. सो दिस इज सम सॉर्ट ऑफ अ बाउंडिंग बॉक्स. दीज 2 माइंड मैप्स आई शोड यू, ठीक है? इसको अपने पास रखो, आई विल सेंड इट टू यू आल्सो. सो टेक्निक्स, दिस इज व्हाट वी कवर इन पैराफ्रेजिंग. वी टॉक्ड अबाउट पैराफ्रेजिंग ऑफ टॉपिक्स, डिमांड्स ऑफ द टॉपिक, ट्रीटमेंट एंड बैलेंस. इसके अगेन देयर आर सम ट्रिक्स ऑफ द ट्रेड, यू नीड टू नो इट, बट सम पीपल डू इट इंट्यूटिवली. प्रोसेस जानने से वो कर्व दिखाया था, that becomes faster and easier. Reading analysis में I've given you philosophers, but quality reading material, mapping of values, ये सब ethics में जब कर रहे हो उसके साथ ही पढ़ो इसको. I don't treat it as something separate. You can put it along with it. Argument development में सबसे ज़्यादा काम है, सबसे ज़्यादा काम है. Most people will go through this. Problem हो सकता है, but you kind of come here and you'll find somewhere or the other, दोस्त से मांग लोगे, Google search कर लोगे, मिल जाएगा. May not be high quality, but you'll still get it. But यहाँ पे जाके हम फंस जाते हैं. So we write something that doesn't directly speak to the topic. Okay? And embellishments is the last thing. It will automatically come. You do not have to worry, go hunting around for case studies, this and that. The moment you understand the philosopher and what he's saying, application मिल जाएगा, धाड़ से मिलेगा, कोई टेंशन नहीं है इसका. और quotes, don't look at quotes websites, okay? Please, at least for me, my sake, do not look at quotes. They will not take you anywhere. But quotes अगर देख रहे हो, तो take that same mindset कि ये quote अगर ऐसा topic है तो उसको कैसे लिखूँ मैं? That is the real benefit of having quotes. किसी ने बोला hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Okay, अच्छा लगा. मस्त लगा. But क्या लिखूं इसके बाद? That research अगर खुद बैठ के 15 मिनट non-stop, don't listen to anybody, do your own analysis. Actually वो बिना देखे करोगे ना, then the next time you know what to search. It becomes you basically setting up your own process. मैं तो बता दूंगा process एक, but मैं एक generic technique बताऊंगा. फिर अपना technique तुम्हारा develop हो जाएगा, right? And then closure, way forward, personal opinions कैसे develop होगा. And personality is what Shabbir talked about, but personality, like I said, does not get developed overnight. जब तुम पढ़ते हो, when you do the reading of different philosophers, that develops. Now you know what determinism is. Somebody asks you, you can say three lines about it. So, and I told this exact feedback to all the interview candidates I interviewed this year. Most struggled in these kinds of things. And Shabbir is absolutely right. ये अगर ठीक से कर पाओगे तो interviews are a piece of cake. Because this is the kind of questions they ask. So, अगर तुम same words use करते हो interview में, it's just going to shine like gold, right? From a informal language, how do you go to formal language and reasoning? And language development comes through reading. There is no shortcut. वो करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है? So with that, I will end today's session. Any of you have questions? यहाँ पूछ सकते हो. I am here for the rest of the day and tomorrow. Yes. Something to read. Okay, let's pick a topic. I'll tell you what to read. इसमें से कौन सा अच्छा लग रहा है?
I know Thomas Piketty, Amartya Sen, and
Amartya Sen.
Argumentative.
पढ़ा है? Great book to read. It is a very dense book. इसको एक बार में पढ़ने की नॉवेल की तरह बिल्कुल कोशिश मत करना. But pick up chapters. He does excellent book, by the way. Thank you for bringing that up. उसमें एक chapter है. He writes 3 pages about secularism. Fantastic chapter. वो 3 पेज पढ़ोगे. You don't need to read about secularism ever again. But ध्यान से पढ़ना. So definitely Amartya Sen, our very own. See his videos. Krishnamurti, another Indian. Great example. Krishnamurti is a fascinating character. Krishnamurti padho. That will interest you. And Chomsky. If you have heard of Noam Chomsky, he is living. He is one of the last living great philosophers. Yeah, who rules the world? Noam Chomsky. Read these 3. Chomsky, Krishnamurti, and Amartya Sen. Fantastic start. And best thing about today's internet is there are excerpts everywhere. You need not read the whole book. Who Rules the World is a great political, geopolitics understanding, but Noam Chomsky has written extensively about linguistics. उसको पढ़ सकते हो. Yeah, I'll share a reading list with you. Philosophers तो दे ही देता हूँ, and then we'll continue with our work. So know where our work in Telegram is and what else you need to do. That is the appreciation I want to give you. And then keep writing.
Henry Kissinger that you are mentioning there,
Yeah.
is he that foreign secretary of USA, Henry Kissinger? Is it the same Kissinger?
No. Not the current. Oh yes, Kissinger, right?
He is that
Yeah.
one, no?
Yes, yes, yes. He died after he was 100 years old or something. Yeah, yeah, correct. He's one of the most infamous people of the world. Yeah. So if you want to read about political dominance, how the US came to dominate the world, reading Henry Kissinger is very important. Geopolitics. Marx to tumhe pata hai. Very interesting. Karl Marx had one of the essay topics after religion is the opium of the world. Okay. So great interacting with all of you. We'll continue the interaction. Okay? And be fearless and ask questions. I want more participation. Khud khana pakao, fir I will then resort to watching you and giving feedback. So that is more fun, then you will learn, right? Then it's easier. Online, any questions? How do paraphrasing of essay topic? I gave you some examples. I think paraphrasing techniques are there. Synonyms, antonyms, what the topic is, what it is not, that is one way. There are so many techniques. You can do a Google search, but we have an extensive list of this in our upcoming course. Sir, can we start off today or do any part of work? Absolutely. There is a assignment number 30. I'm forgetting what the topic is right now, blanking out, but definitely jump in and answer that. Okay. Sir, any resources to cover science related topic for essays? Excellent topic. Yes, I'll give you some stuff. Yeah, we have science related. In fact, science and essays, it's a good question. Anybody can tell me what the intersection is? Science and essays. Science and tech. And our essays.
Sir, it is somewhat related to imagination because whatever we want to achieve, first of all, that has to be conceived in our mind.
Great, creative.
For instance, if we wanted to reach the moon, some idea was considered in our
Creative imagination, definitely one area. What else?
Every idea in scientific field starts with
Imagination.
and the pursuit to turn that imagination into reality. And between that, some contradictions come in. And then we find that that reality might not really exist. But then we also look कि भाई
फिर वो illusion पे चला गया.
that goes into illusion. When it succeeds,
Yeah.
it becomes realism. And then we find out that it already did. We just didn't know the way how to reach it.
Yeah. Okay. Science and tech. What else? Big one. Creativity is good. What is really something that is impacting the globe today because of science and tech negatively? Sustainability, moral principles, ethical AI. There are tons of topics, right? When we talk about ethics, freedom, choice, there was a topic not some time back that social media is actually an illusion of choice, right? That you have the choice, so I'll go, I'll see whatever reel I want, I'll personalize it.
who governs that is a question.
But do you really have a choice? Because you just do doom scrolling. So there are so many things. Genetics, eugenics. Eugenics is a highly controversial area, right at the fence of science and tech and essays.
Idea used by Hitler.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So even genetics is meddling with people's beliefs.
Yeah, yeah. GMO foods. Okay, he who has why to live can bear anyhow. Yeah, thank you. That was the topic. He who has a why to live can bear anyhow. Okay, I'll take it up in the Telegram channel. I'll not make you answer here, but definitely think of the words, and then from the words, think how to develop core arguments. तो एक तरह से short circuit कर रहा हूँ मैं वहाँ पे 2 steps, but yeah, I mean if I go sequentially, you guys will be like, yeah, वही करा रहा है, you know, it's like the same old thing. I can't. Yeah. No, pastel को दिमाग से बाहर निकालो पहले. Okay. Sometimes to learn something new, you have to unlearn something. Okay, पहले उसको निकाल दो. Videos देखना बंद करो. PYQs देखना बंद. But you know, this is the way. Drop the topic. इसके keywords निकालो. जैसे free will का निकाला हमने, determinism का निकाला. क्या topic है उसको समझा. अगर ये topic समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, तो just ask Google, GPT to help you understand the topic more. You can ask, instead of a direct question, what is free will? Okay, it will give you definition. You can ask, how free will impacts the society? How the concept of free will is impacting human lives? That is a different question. It will give you different answers. So I think this is what I call inquiry. Okay, Krishnamurti, the one I asked you to study, is a big proponent of element of inquiry. He was very anti-religion. He said religion is a dogma. It doesn't let you inquire. So first and foremost, human beings should inquire. So inquiry करते हैं एक topic पे. Think, like that's why we teach you, what questions you can ask on the topic. That's one very nice way. 5 question लिखो इस topic पे क्या 5 questions में पूछो. Then ask that. Suddenly you will get keywords and suddenly your mind maps will start looking bigger, bigger, bigger. एक बार उसमें 15-20 आइटम हो गया माइंड मैप में, then you know, okay, I have good size material here. इसको मैं लिख सकता हूँ. ठीक है, कोई गोल्डन रूल नहीं है, होता तो मैं दे देता, राइट. मुझे रखने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. आई एम नॉट appearing UPSC, but definitely that. Imagination and vindication through science. Yeah, we talked about imagination. Yeah, talk about genetics and other areas. Thank you guys. Very nice meeting all of you, and definitely continue the interaction. And folks on Zoom and YouTube, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next time. How to arrive the right questions to ask. Okay, post that question in our channel. I'll answer. Thank you.